Hi everyone, my name is Professor Dominic Bryan, and I'm looking after the postgraduate talk courses that we do in anthropology this first semester, and I'm here to introduce you to everything. I think it's particularly important because it's been a difficult few months, as everybody knows, and we don't normally do our introductions like this, but it's very important that we make you feel at home at Queen's and in anthropology. So I'm going to take you through some of the course, and then I'm going to hand over to my colleague Evi, who will be looking after you in the second semester. She'll tell you a little bit about the things that we're going to be doing. Some of you will know us already if you've come from our first degree, but if you're new to Queen's, then there's a whole lot of. First of all, let's introduce you to a few of us. We have Professor Fiona McGowan. Fiona works on particularly on anthropology of music and performance, and also looks at conflict. And Fiona's area of specialism is in Australia. There's myself. I also look at conflict. My area of specialism is island and ethnic conflict. Mariska works on the anthropology of arts particularly, and she's done fieldwork in a number of areas, including India and in Ireland. John Knight, his specialism is looking at the relationship between human beings and animals, and has particularly done work in Japan. Paolo is the director of the Institute of Culture and Cognition. Fiona has worked in Australia and in Ireland, particularly at the moment is working on migration. And John Landman, who's also the director of education at the school. John works on religion and atheism, and is also in the Institute of Culture and Cognition. And Yanis is an ethnomusicologist who's at the moment, Yanis is looking at music and how musicians, particularly in Greece, survive in periods of lockdown. Dr. Gordon Ramsay. Gordon looks at music playing, particularly in Belfast. He's done a fantastic book on marching bands in Northern Ireland. And lastly, Evi, who will be chatting to you a little bit later. Evi's expertise is on Cyprus and on groups of people who see themselves as Cypriot in London, but also has a number of projects looking at migration. So we're the team, we're the people that you'll be meeting over the next 12 months. And you're all very, very welcome. So we do a range of work. I hope some of you, of course, will have done lots of anthropology before. Some of you won't have done as much anthropology before. For those of you who haven't done lots before, we'll be introducing you to things. Don't worry too much. You'll get a lot of us very excited about anthropology. This is the sort of work we do, that it's taken us around the world. So we've as I just mentioned, we've had people working in Australia, in Melanesia, in Japan, in Greece, in Cyprus, Turkey, Ireland, Czech Republic, Ghana, and India. And to be honest with you, what we hope anthropology does for you is it opens that world for you to go and do some research or do work all the way around the world. And you can see some of the books that we produced in the last few years. And really, that's what doing a master's is all about. A master's is about introducing you to the possibility of how you do research, how you write research, which we hope will be important to you, not only if you go on to an academic future, but also in the workplace. And that's what we're really aiming at when we go through the MA. So there's lots of issues. You'll be involved in debates and arguments and discussions over the next 8 or 9 months. I put a picture up there of the statue disappearing into the water in Bristol, because that just happens to be one of the things that I'm really interested in. And in fact, there's a number of us in the department who have an interest in that sort of thing, but I've been looking at attacks on statues for some years in the US. But there's a whole range of of very contemporary issues around what it is to be human beings in the modern world. We'll be looking at globalization. You'll have lectures on conflict in society, how you heal conflicts. We'll be looking at the way different societies, different cultures deal with things like family, things like love, what it is to feel wanted in the world, what it is to feel part of a group. We'll be looking at various forms of conflict. I mean, one of the interesting things that we look at in course in the second semester that I look at is a fundamental question, which I don't know if you've ever asked yourself before, but why are people willing to die for groups? Why are people willing to sacrifice themselves for a nation, for a flag, in such what appears to be such an altruistic way? Some of these are the fundamental things that we look at when we study anthropology, and there'll be lots of discussions of new technologies, not least because we're being driven into them right now. It's the first time I've ever done an introduction to a whole lot of students on technology like that. So, you know, our lives recently have been changing incredibly. And I think when you do anthropology, it will allow you to reflect on many of those things. So what are you going to get out of your MA? Well, above anything else, I hope you get critical thinking. I hope it allows you to learn how to take a problem, to deconstruct that problem and put it back together again, and how you learn to explain that problem to other people. I think of all of the what you should always get out of your university career is that idea of critically understanding how you look at problems and how you problem solve. This being anthropology, we're very big on cross-cultural understanding and there's lots of games we can play and things that we can think about how cultures make a difference to our lives. And when I do some of the classes with you, I'll be asking you to think about what it feels like when you go into other cultural settings and just do simple things like greetings, the sort of things we're doing now. I mean, you may have noticed over the last few months, we've all had to learn to greet each other in different ways and do elbow taps and arm taps and all sorts of things. But that's always been true. If you think about it, whenever you've gone to another part of the world, you've kissed on cheeks, or you've rubbed noses, or you've bowed. So in some senses, that's always been true, and we'll be looking at what it's like to think about cross-culturally. We'll be teaching you how to do research. We'll be teaching you the different ways, particularly the ethnographic and anthropological methodologies of going and spending times with people, of interviewing. We'll be also, and I think this is crucial, teaching people how to write. I mean, I'd say that's one of the big things about going through an MA is we want to try and take your writing to another level, which will be useful in your future work, I'm sure, and we'll be asking you to make presentations. So most of you will be starting a full-time master's. We might have some of you who are part-time masters. The structure is fairly simple. You could consider it 3 semesters, but your first semester you'll be doing 3 modules, and your second semester you'll be doing 3 modules, and in your over the summer you'll be doing a dissertation. It's slightly different if you're doing a graduate diploma or if you're doing things part-time, but we can talk to all of you about that in good time. And of course, for some of you, we hope this is preparation to go on and do a PhD. And this provides you some of the background to that, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you, those of you that are enthusiastic to go on and try and take on a PhD. So there'll be various themes that you come across in the courses over the next year. You'll broadly be getting seeing the scope of social anthropology. We have specialisms looking at cognition and culture. At ethnomusicology, in fact, there's an argument to say Queen's University in the 1970s almost invented that study of ethnomusicology, and some of you, we get classes with Yanis, and his stuff is amazing. With some of our undergraduate students, he actually has a course, he has a module where they put on a whole show, a whole exhibition of music and things, and they advertise it, and it's fantastic. And then we will be looking at Ireland. Any of you who are coming to Ireland for the first time, there'll be plenty on the anthropology of Ireland and on the anthropology of conflict as well. There'll be a whole broad range of things, but there's some of the themes that you'll be looking at. So there are your modules in the first and second semester. You have options in the second semester. So in the first semester, you'll be doing advanced anthropological perspectives and anthropology, ethnography and evolution, and you'll be doing a broad sort of research methodology that the school runs, which will be introducing to research, but also some of the, and I think this is very important, some of the philosophical ideas that lie behind all the sorts, not just anthropology, but all the research that you do. In the second semester, you'll be doing advanced anthropological methods, when we'll be trying to teach you how to do research and in preparation for your dissertation. And then there's some modules on anthropology of music, and the anthropology of conflict, particularly based in Ireland. And there's also, you'll be open to do you could choose a school module if you wish to at that point. But we'll talk to you all about that. But the guts of doing an MA is the dissertation. So all of this is about preparing you to write a dissertation over the summer months. We'll help you right the way through to pick the topics that you want to do, and help you prepare to do a really substantive piece of research. And I think most students find that the most exciting part of being here. If you want an example of some of the stuff that's going on, we have a blog site that's been set up recently, so please feel free to go and have a look at the blog site, and when you get into things, you can contribute to that blog site. As well. Well, with that, I am going to, by the magic of new technology, I'm going to click my fingers, and Evi will then suddenly appear in this box, all right? And she's going to tell you a little bit about what's going to go on in the next 2 semesters.
And I appeared. I just wanted to introduce myself as well. My name is Evi Chatzipanagiotidou, and I lecture on the MA program. I'm the convener of Advanced Perspectives in Semester 1, so you'll be meeting me and seeing me more in that module. However, I'm also introducing myself as your second semester MA convener, so I'll be taking over from Dominic in the second semester. I look very much forward to working with all of you, meeting you in person. I just wanted to talk about our research culture a little bit more and the opportunities you will have throughout the year. As Dominic said, this is an unusual year. We are doing at the moment what we call connected learning, which is a combination of online and offline engagement. So the format of some of the things we've been doing before might change this year, but we'll keep you updated. And more importantly, we want you to be engaged and maybe take the lead on some of these initiatives as well. So we're very open to your ideas and suggestions. What we've been having in terms of our research culture historically is the anthropology research seminars. These normally take place a few times throughout the semester, and they're led by an external speaker who presents their work. And this is very much an event that is quite important for all postgraduate students to attend. It's an opportunity to engage with other people's work out there, to find out about what's going on in other institutions, and also more broadly within the field of anthropology, what is happening in terms of research at the moment from the people who are doing it. What we are also very proud of is our postgraduate seminars, and this is a forum that we maintain for MA students and for PhD students. It's an opportunity for postgraduates to come together, talk about research, talk about their own research and present it in front of others, get feedback, but also participate in a wider postgraduate environment, meet peers, and engage in activities. This will probably be taking an online format, at least for the first semester, and Dominic will be getting in touch with you to give you more details very soon. We will be reconsidering the format of the postgraduate seminars for the second semester. However, we're very open to suggestions to how you want this to run, and if you have any ideas about any potential initiatives. We will be discussing again this next semester. But we're very, very interested in having you involved in our research environment and culture. What we would also be thinking about in the future is a postgraduate conference that we might all put together. And I'll be speaking to you about this throughout our modules and throughout our seminars. The broader school culture is very rich. There are other postgraduate seminars in other disciplines. We also have a coffee morning initiative, which we've been running historically through our Athena Swan program, and that's a gender equality program that the school is implementing. So what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of opportunities out there for meeting people, meeting staff in the school and in anthropology, but more importantly, engaging with others, engaging with your peers, and finding out about what other people do and connecting. So keep an eye, we'll be sending you information. The format of these events will be a little bit unorthodoxical this year, a little bit unusual, but you'll be getting information on all of those.
Yeah, hi, it's me again. We just can move in and out that quickly with modern technology. So finally, let me say just a few things about you being here. We hope that you have a great experience when you're at Queen's in Belfast, and we hope you have a great experience when you're in anthropology. It's difficult times. There's lots that we do normally. We have all sorts of musical ensembles and dance, and there's lots of things to do, and like you, we will be having to get used to how we do some of these things, how we stay connected, how we get to know each other when it might not be that easy to meet, and we're going to do our best to do that. All right, so I'm going to say something very important now. I don't want you to feel cut off. You must get in touch with us. You'll find all of the members of staff at Anthropology very easy to talk to, very friendly. So you must try and stay in touch with us. And if you've got any issues at all, to let us know, and we can problem solve. And we'll try and come up with events. Lots of them will be online, I suspect, by necessity, but we will be able to meet each other through those methods. So finally, that's Evi and myself. All right, over the 2 semesters, we'll broadly be looking after you, and let us know if you've got any problems, and please stay in touch.